Hello! It's been a hot minute. Let's go over my December TBR. So if you don't know, I'm Paige, and sometimes I'm known for being a little flaky, but it's because there's usually a lot of life-altering crap that's happening. 2022, it's been a shit show. We're just going to be completely honest about that. I have been gone at the time of this filming. I'm filming it on, is it the 14th? Yes, it's the 14th. Filming it on the 14th. Because, and I mention that because I've not filmed anything in like over a month because of said life changes. Yeah, I'll get more into it about like a massive vlog. Be on the lookout for that. I also have a lot of backlog, so you might be seeing videos that I shot that are coming out like after this and before this, but I assure you this is the latest video right now because, yeah, thanks. So today we are going to go over my December TBR, and what is really special about this is that I'm tagging this video to the November TBR. And why is that? Because I did not read in November. I read like 3 books. I am a disappointment to myself, to my reading for mothers, everything, everyone. Anyways, so yeah, I still have, let's see if I can get it in frame. I'm sitting down. This is almost taller than me sitting down. That's not good. That's not good. So yeah, I still have all of the books from the August TBR and the November TBR. I'm going to try to get through them. We're not going to promise anything, but I'm going to try. I'm also massively behind in NetGalley and book tours, and just in general, like, you know, this book, Wishmark, I started at the beginning of November. Gleanings, I was supposed to have a review for it at the beginning of November. It is what it is. I'm just, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to try to conquer that this month. But I'm also making this video, because I could have just done the November one and just flubbed my way through it. But I decided, stupidly, because I am a stupid person, I decided to join some readathons, both of which are currently ongoing, and that I've not read anything for. I've read 1 book this month so far. It's been bad. Anyways. And I don't normally pressure myself to get through readathons, but here we are. Anyways, the first one, which started on the 9th, I'm behind, and I think I still have time to do it. Like, oh yeah, this one gets done the 18th of December. I have 4 days. 4 days. Anyways, we're doing the Aurelium, I think this is called the Old Favor Pass. There's like an Aurelium magical readathon I've been wanting to get into. I did it back when it was Harry Potter themed, and then I stopped because of all the nonsense. But they've since like redone it and everything, and I've been wanting to join, so I'm kind of using this as like a springboard to join. This is just like a fun little extra readathon. There's this little town area called Old Favor Pass with various shops, and I will link the announcement video down below, but it had some really cool things like the Hotel's Bookshop, Shank and Shaw, so I picked out some books that correspond to them, and yeah, so we will see. Let's see here. I don't have a pen. We're just going to go in order of this because I will forget. Anyways, I am planning to try to finish at least this one. I'm not sure about the next one, but I am wanting to do it. But either this month or in January, because I need to get through some books. I need to I need to fix myself. We're bad off, people. We're bad off. Anyways, so there's like various shops here, and they have like simple ones. So like if you go to the bookstore, you read a mystery thriller. If you go to the retailer, you read a horror book, etc., etc. And you can do extra ones. I'm not doing the extra ones because I'm behind. So we're just going to stick with, I'm just going to browse because I have like 0 monies. Anyways, so we're going to the Old Tales bookshop first, and it's read a mystery / thriller. Also, FYI, the November TBR video and this video, well, the November TBR video was shot before HarperCollins went on strike. I support the strike workers and everything. This is not an endorsement to break strike lines or anything like that. I'm just presenting a TBR. So I support the strike and everything. Please buy the books from the authors, but hold your blurbs and reviews of them and everything. Buy from book crates and stuff like that. Continue to do that. Do not 1 or 0 star authors' books on retailer shops like Goodreads and stuff like that. That's bad. That doesn't help the strike. Donating, signing the pledge, and doing a review moratorium until, you know, HarperCollins gets its shit together and meets them at the bargaining table. That's what's going to help. And yeah, I also chose this TBR, I think before the strike, or before I was aware of it. So yeah, this is not very strike friendly. But I am going to read it. I am just going to hold my reviews for them until the strike is over. I think they're like, 20 something. I don't know. Anyways, knowing all of that, FYI, here's the TBR. For this one, for the mystery thriller, I am going to read The Reckless Dark by Erica Waters. This is also it's special edition cover from Rainbow Crate. Definitely check out Rainbow Crate. The next shop is Shanken's Shawl, legitimate retailer, and they're kind of like a sketchy retailer thing, which is probably why I'm not doing a big read for this one, and it's read a horror book. Again, this one not strike friendly. Support the author, but hold your reviews. Everyone hold your reviews, hold your blurbs, and everything about it. But we're going with The 13th Cat by Mary Downing Hahn. The next one is Wallace's Wonderful Winter Wanimals? And strangely, this publisher, Inkyard Press, not part of the union. Apparently they don't let their publishing team join the union, which has its own special, you know, like, icks about it. That, you know, like, there's a TikTok thing going around that's like, my icks and stuff like that. That kind of icks me when you don't allow your publishing team to join a union. Anyways, it is How to Heal a Gryphon by Med Cannistra. I'm not going to tell you about this one. Same for the other HarperCollins ones, because I just realized that like all of this TBR is HarperCollins. I am very sorry about that. In my defense, I am an influencer for them, which is, you know, I'm kind of worried I'm actually going to lose that spot, but you know, it's whatever. I have like 2 decades worth of content with just the books that I own right now. I'm not getting any more free books or anything. But I have a lot of HarperCollins books that I'm behind in. I'm just, you know, I'm just being very honest with you. I did not plan it. I'm not a strike breaker. Yeah, anyways, we have better book options in the next thing. Anyways, the next shop is Smith & Friends and Sons Arcane Goods and Such, which is a general store for magical goods. It is read a contemporary book. 7% of Devereux. I think it's a contemporary. I would love to tell you about it, but I'm not blurbing any HarperCollins books. I'm showing you them because you should support the authors. But I'm not giving HarperCollins any free space on here until they come to the bargaining table. And then I'm 11 minutes in already. The last one is Oculate Premonitions, which is a fortune teller in Fortunate Tools, and it's read a science fiction. This Is Not the Real World by Anna Carey, which is a sequel to This Is Not the Dress Show, is sci-fi like. So I'm going to count it. Everything exploded over here. And then there's like this Six Shop. I had to go count my books real quickly. This is the Six Shop, which is the Rich Pigeon Pub, which is Drake's live music and theater. No work, just vibes. We like vibes. Anyways, that's the Eras Readathon. Not very strike friendly of me again. So sorry about that. I do support the strike. I'm just, you know, I made that before I knew about the strike. And yeah, I have a lot of HarperCollins books because I'm an influencer for them again. It just kind of happens. They just kind of keep sending me stuff, and I feel bad that I'm not upholding like my end of the bargain by promoting the books or anything like that, but I can't break a strike. Which is why they're not getting blurbed. They're getting shown, so that way you can go buy them and support the authors. But don't blurb. Don't blurb. Don't review. Anyways, the next readathon I'm participating in is the Eras Readathon, which I'm very excited about. I like Taylor Swift. I'm not a Swiftie. I wouldn't count myself the Swiftie. This one started yesterday on Taylor Swift's birthday, and it goes into the 26th. Again, we are at one book in for the overall month. I don't see myself finishing this readathon, but I'm going to try, because the cool thing about this one is that it's hosted by the Word Nerd. I'm going to leave her announcement video link down below, but the cool thing about it is that she's going to take the most common phrase, like prompts, and every song that Taylor has ever wrote and put on an album is, or some of them not on an album, is going to you know, guys, every song has its own prompts and everything. She's going to put the ones that have the most on like a big massive playlist, but I'm going to do my own playlist. Try to really focus on songs that were my favorite or are my favorite currently. And the idea of this is like your ideal set list. So here is my ideal set list for the Eras tour that Taylor is doing. I did not get tickets, by the way. I did not even try. I knew it was going to be a bloodbath. But we are starting with her debut album, self-titled, Taylor Swift, and we are going with Teardrops on My Guitar. The prompt is, read a book that will make you cry. I have chosen The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This one is Little Brown. I can actually talk about this one. Anyways, enough about the, well, you know, I'm just going to keep talking about the strike. It's just going to keep popping up in videos after I've made these. Anyway, in this book, our main character, her name is Mare, and she is a, what is it called? A water diviner. And she, I think she works for like these two kingdoms or this one kingdom. Anyways, she works under this prince, and she has been essential in locating his enemies, but she doesn't know that he had been poisoning them. So she breaks free of that and is trying to come up with ways to take down the prince. This is steeped in Welsh mythology. I really can't wait to read it. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. And the reason I chose Teardrops on My Guitar, it was the first Taylor Swift song that I actually fell in love with. I used to play it on the bus going to school, and it got me through some very, very teen angsty, lovesick moments, especially about this guy that I'm going to talk about for Fearless, that did not give me the time of day, and it was because he was gay, and I am so sorry, Stephen. So now you know what song's coming up. I'm so sorry, Stephen, that I did not get that through my thick ass head as a 15, 16-year-old. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm just going to admit it. Anyways, the next one obviously is from the Fearless album. It is Hey Stephen. The prompt is read a book with the name, with a name on the title, and I've chosen Blaine for the win, which is a Simon & Schuster book, so I can talk about this one. In this one, our main character, his name is Blaine, and he is dating the popular kid, the senior or former senior class council president, and everything is going great until his boyfriend breaks up with him on their 1-year anniversary because he is not serious enough. And Blaine is very fed up about this, and he decides to run against his ex-boyfriend's new boyfriend. That's right, he rebounded very, very fast, like Warner. He's such a Warner. Anyways, Blaine is determined to win senior student council president from his ex-boyfriend's new boyfriend. And this is the tale of the journey of that. I'm very excited to read this one. This was on my anticipated list at the beginning of the year, and it's now December. This came out in April, and I've still not gotten to it, but I am determined to get to it this year. The next one that I have up is for the Speak Now album, and the prompt is, or the song is Sparks Fly, which is one of my favorites, recent favorites. It randomly came up on my Spotify. I don't even think I added the album yet to my Spotify. And again, and when Taylor comes out with her Taylor version of that, I will be deleting that album and replacing it with her Taylor version. But it came on like a couple of years ago, and I just absolutely fell in love with the song and everything. It, again, got me through quite a bit of a rough moment at work when I still worked. Anyways, the prompt for this one is read a book about the start of a romance, and I chose She Gets the Girl by Rachael Lippencott and Alyson Derrick. This one is Simon & Schuster, so I can talk about it. This is just going to be a theme for the rest of my videos until the strike is over, so HarperCollins, you might just want to get your shit together so I can talk about your books. Anyways, this one is basically about two girls that fall in love. So in this one, our two main characters, they're actually in love with two other girls. It's very sapphic romance. And they're trying to get together with their two separate girls, and they come up with this plan together, but they end up falling in love instead. Again, this was one of my anticipated ones at the beginning of the year. It came out in April, and I've yet to read it, but we are going to change that. I'm going to read it. The next album is Red, one that I really didn't get into until Taylor's version came out. And I chose the song I Knew You Were Trouble, which I remember hearing on the radio, and for the longest time, I swear that I thought that was someone else singing it because Taylor's voice had matured so much by that point. And the prompt for that is a book you couldn't resist. I chose The Undead Truth of Us by Brittany S. Lewis. This is a Hyperion book, which is an imprint of Buena Vista, so I can talk about it. In this one, it is a zombie book. This book explores love, grief, zombies, etc., etc. Our main character sees her mother morph into a zombie right before her eyes, and she sees zombies everywhere. When a new guy moves into the apartment building, he transforms into like half zombie. They work together to figure out what is going on. I've heard that this is just such a beautiful book, and apparently Kaylin Barron, who I really love, says it's an emotional and gripping take on the classic zombie archetype. I like zombies, so we're here to try this one out. And next we are heading to the 1989 album, where I started choosing 2 books kind of per album-ish. 1989 was my first love, like the first whole album that I fell in love with for Taylor's. So I chose Shake It Off, which is read someone's least favorite book. And I know many people that absolutely hated this book. It is Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm also not a fan of this author, but I'm giving this book a chance. I love Merida. I hope that she didn't completely wreck her. This is from Disney Books, which is an imprint of Buena Vista, so I can talk about this one. In this one, it is the continuation of Merida's story, and it features like 4 different seasons and stuff like that. So it says on the inside, Merida needs a change. She loves her family and her peaceful kingdom, but she's frustrated by its sluggishness. She longs for adventure, purpose, challenge, and maybe even someday love, which is a lot of people had problems with. I might have a problem with it. You know, I have feelings. Anyways, so she has to go against supernatural beings. That says like 2 gods, 3 voyages, 4 seasons. So it's going to be like a year adventure for her. It seems interesting. I can't wait to read it and judge for myself whether it's bad or not. Which it might be, to be honest. And the next one on the 1989 album is I Know Places, which is my favorite song of the album. I also really love Clean. Clean is also a favorite, but the prompt for Clean was read a book with water on the cover, and I can't for the life of me find frickin' water on cover. on any of my book covers. I think they're just devoid of water. Anyways, so I chose I Know Places, which is read a book you think few people know about. So I chose an indie book, and it is Blessed by Kandi J. Wyatt. I got this I won this in like a giveaway by the author, and I promised a review, so you need to read it. This is an indie author, which is why I think that not a lot of people, you know about it. It also says it's book 2. Oh, damn. Well, I'll try to get to book 1. The next album is Reputation, which I'm just going to be completely honest about. I have not listened to Reputation in whole. The only song that I really know off of it is, besides Look What You Made Me Do, is Delicate, which is an absolute fan favorite, or is an absolute favorite of mine. And the prompt is read a book with a new relationship. I chose Creatures of the In-Between, which comes out in April. Hopefully the strike is over by then. This is a HarperCollins book. But until then, we are not going to talk about this book. So sorry, HarperCollins, if you want me to blurb, put in some work. The next album is Lover, which I listened to most of the songs on there. It's an for me, but it does hold somewhat of a special place in my heart. The first song, because I chose 2 off of this one, the first song that I chose from this album is Afterglow, which I absolutely love. It is read a book with a character trying to fix something. So I went a little morbid with this. I went with The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. This is from Rachael, which is an imprint of Penguin. So I could talk about this one. It's a horror book, and anytime that you see Jessica Goodman, you know that it's going to be a bloody good time. It is a summer camp slasher book. So I chose it because it seems like the main character, or one of them, is trying to figure out who is behind all of the slashing and killing. So trying to fix something. You know, she can't bring back people from the dead, but she can try to stop it. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. And the last song from this album that I chose is Daylight. Absolutely love Daylight. I think it's one of my favorite songs by Taylor Swift. And the prompt was read a book with gold/golden in the title. I actually misread this prompt. But I'm going to go with it anyways. I chose Stealing Infinity, which has gold on the cover, which is what I thought the prompt was asking for, so sorry. And Entangled Teen is apparently an imprint of Entangled. I don't know if Entangled Publishing works with any of the big 5, so please don't come at me. But for as far as I know, it's not related to HarperCollins. I don't know. Anyways, Stealing Infinity by Alyson Noel. I've been meaning to read this for a while. It's basically, as it's blurred back here, the Da Vinci Code meets Riverdale. But basically, the book is about this school and the students who are all time travelers and their adventures through time and stuff like that. It seems really interesting. I love time travel books, so I can't wait to get to this one. I have a whole stack of Entangled books I've actually been meaning to read, so I need to get to it. The next album is Folklore, and God, that started like my love of Taylor's music. I downloaded the whole album and I listened to it for hours straight the first day that it came out. So I chose one of my favorite songs on here, which is Exile, and the prompt is read a book by an author using a pen name. So I chose The Lords of Night by J.C. Cervantes. I know that this is an abbreviation, but it still counts as a pen name. The author's real name is Jennifer, I believe, Jennifer Cervantes, but J.C. Cervantes. This is, oh yeah, this is Hyperion, it's Buena Vista. Anyways, so this one is set in the Rick Riordan universe. Is part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint. See, in this one it says 14-year-old Renata Santiago is the most powerful god born of them all. A bruja with the ability to manipulate shadows and a magical rope that controls time. It sounds so good. I'm stopping there because I do not want to spoil any of this for me. I cannot wait to read it. The next album is Evermore. Again, I did the same thing that I did with Folklore. Absolutely love Folklore and Evermore. Would love for the Fable 3rd to come out, but whatever. But the song that I chose two songs off of here. The first one is Gold Rush, which I absolutely love. The prompt is read a book with sirens, so I chose Prince of Song and Sea by Lindsay Miller. This is Prince Eric's story about like how he came to be in The Little Mermaid, Disney imprint and stuff like that. So, you know, it's going to be a Disney story. I know technically Ariel is a mermaid, and I have this thing about the difference between mermaids and sirens and stuff like that, but I am chilling it for this prompt. They're close enough. Anyways, the next one is 'Tis the Damn Season, which I absolutely love. The prompt is read a book with a character returning to their hometown. Child chose Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. Berkeley is an imprint of Penguin Random House, so I could talk about this one. I've been meaning to read this one for so long, and I'm bound and determined to read it. It is a sapphic romance between these two people. Our first one is Delilah, who is the namesake of this book, who goes back to her childhood hometown, and she has memories of a lonely childhood because she feels like she has been a burden to her stepfamily. And when her estranged stepsister pressures her into photographing her wedding with like a 5-figure check, this can help Delilah jumpstart her career and everything. But along the way, she meets someone else. Her name is Claire, who is having a really hard time running a bookstore and has an unreliable ex, has a child with them. And, you know, sparks fly. I can't wait to read it. The last album is Midnights, and I chose Midnight Rain. And the prompt for that one is read a book you're trying not to think about. I'm trying not to think about The 11th Plague by Jeff Hirsch. There's no, like, the bad reason why I'm trying not to think about it. It's just because it's been on my TBR for so freaking long. My husband picked this book out, and he keeps kind of pressuring me to read it, and yeah. So this one is basically about this flu pandemic that happens. Another reason why I'm trying not to think about it, you know, COVID's still very real. And our main character is 15-year-old Stephen Quinn, who was born after the war. There was a brutal war in America. We all see it coming. Who survived and took to roaming the country to search for material to trade. But when their grandfather dies and his father falls into a coma, they find their way to a community that seems too good to be true. And when they play a prank with this other kid who refuses to accept the way that things are, when that prank goes horribly wrong, they are launched into the midst of a battle that will change settlers landing and their lives forever. It sounds so good, but again, try not to think about it because of the circumstances of this day and age. Word Nerd also included prompts for, you know, songs that are version exclusives, like the Target exclusives. For example, Wonderland, which I absolutely love. It's a favorite of mine. I love that it came on 1989. And that prompt is read a fantasy. So I chose The Rose Volume 1, which is, the tagline is, when battling alien vampires, one thing is certain, get ready to bleed. The Word Nerd also included songs from The Vault, and one of them was the 10-minute version of All Too Well, and that prompt is read a sequel that is longer than the first book, and we obviously knew what I was going to go with, which is the sequel of that other one. It is a chunky one. It is a chunker. It looks very Terminator-esque. I don't know what to expect from it. I don't know. They're both self-published, so I'm going to give them a fair review, but I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't know. And the last special select of songs is the 3 a.m. edition of Midnights, and I chose the song Would've, Could've, Should've, and the prompt is read a book about a character overcoming past trauma. So I chose Breathe and Count Back from 10 by Natalia Sylvester, which I can't talk about because it's a HarperCollins book. So yeah, that is the chaos that will be. Wow, this is going to be a long TBR video. So yeah, that is the chaos that is going to be the Eras Readathon and my December TBR in general. Yeah, help. It's going to be fine. I'm hoping to at least get these done. I know that's a stretch, but I'm hoping to get my reading mojo back and get these done. But to also read more books, and for the books that I read during this time period between the 13th and the 26th, including the ones in the Aurelian Pass, Aurelian O Fever Pass one, I'm going to figure out where they land on this these prompts because there's so many prompts, and create like this massive set list and everything. So I'll have like my core, and then I'll have like other songs that I read that books I read that fit the other prompts. So I'm hoping just to create like this really big, massive Spotify playlist, and yeah, have fun with it. But yeah, so that is it for the December and November TBR. So thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.